Welcome to southern Spain. Welcome to the launch of Yamaha's R7. We have just finished the road ride, which is 140 kilometers on the new bike, which is obviously heavily based on the MT-07, but it's far more sporty and it fits in that gap kind of below the R6, so it's a progressive step from the R3 to the R7. It's obviously based on the MT-07, so it's very similar power, very similar torque, but the chassis is different, which makes it a completely different bike. The rake, the trail, the brakes, the wheelbase, the rigidity of the chassis is all completely different, and obviously the riding position. As you can tell, it's been inspired by Yamaha's R6. You've got the familiar gills, you've got the cutaway seat. You know, you park this bike next to an R1 or an R6 and you can see the similarities straight away. Look a bit closer though, and you can see obviously it's the parallel. Kind of like this central headlight, it's looking good. On the road, we've done 140 kilometers and you just get on it and ride it. There's no rider modes, there is no traction control, there's no launch control, there's no quick shifter. It's just get on it and ride it. The fueling is very soft and easy, manageable. Suspension is controllable, plush, easy, very forgiving, easy bike to ride. But when you wind on the pace, you can have some knee-down fun. It's surprisingly fun, even on these fast roads here in southern Spain. But to get a true flavour of what this bike is like, we're going to fit some grippy rubber from Bridgestone. We're going to tweak the suspension. We've got some R11s. We've got the bikes on tyre warmers. We've firmed up the suspension slightly. I'll get you the details later. And then we're going to go out on track for 3 sessions and see how it goes. So we're coming towards the end of our test of the Yamaha's MT-07. I've tried to give you a bit of a sneaky kind of look behind the scenes. We've ridden on the road, we've ridden on the track, and we've ridden with race tyres with a track setup on track. On road, very usable, very friendly, nice throttle delivery, smooth gearbox, although I would like the quick shifter as standard, which it isn't. The suspension is quite soft, compliant. It's not a race bike by any stretch of the imagination on the road. It's a user-friendly bike that looks great, in my opinion. Horsepower and performance is exactly the same as the MT-07, but the chassis is completely different. Stronger brakes, the forks have been turned in towards the bike so it steers quicker. The shock linkage is slightly higher, so it's higher on the rear. So it is very much a completely different bike to the MT-07. Then we come to the track, we dial in the suspension, which is basically the front is fully adjustable, and so is the rear, and we put grippier Bridgestone tyres on and we go out and have a hoot. On the track version we have the quick shifter fitted, which is an optional extra that just does the up changes, not down changes. Again, there's no rider aids, there's no traction control, there's no lean sensitive ABS, launch control, etc, or rider modes. It's just got standard ABS, you just get it on it and you ride it. I kind of like the old school feeling of that. You just enjoy it and have fun, and I like the fact that on track it wasn't intimidating. You just get on the bike, get on the power when you can, carry the corner speed, really impressive. Usually when you start to push a bike towards its limits, especially a bike priced competitively, you start to feel the budget of some of the parts, but not on the not on the R7. It's come out shining really well, and you can always judge a bike by the response of the other journalists and the banter that everybody's having, and everybody is having so much fun on this bike, despite the fact that sometimes we're used to riding 200 brake horsepower bikes. On the long straight, sure, you've got time to breathe and have a think, which is a good thing. You have time to take count of what you're doing and have a bit of a breather, so it makes it easier to ride. You can focus on your brake point, your turning point and your exit point. This track is really difficult to learn, and the R7's made it accessible and easy. I think this bike is going to be a huge success for Yamaha. It's priced really competitively, and I can see why it's hitting the market where it is. They needed a bike that fitted between the R3 and the track-focused racer on the R6, and this fits in there perfectly. Can't wait to try the race version. This is behind us here. So I'm just going to give you a little look over the GYTR race bike. So this is being developed by Yamaha. All these parts are going to be available from Yamaha. So race bodywork, obviously. So you've got no lights, no mirrors, etc. Full race exhaust from Akrapovic, crash protection, the brake lever guard, ABS has been removed. We've got a Öhlins rear shock, fully adjustable Öhlins front. We've got a quick shifter. And this is just a flavour of what to expect. Unfortunately, we don't get to ride this bike today, but I'm hoping to ride this bike very, very shortly. And then I'll just spin round for the anniversary model, which will be available for an extra around 300 UK pounds. This dates, well, the paintwork is reminiscent of the 500 that Kenny Roberts rode. I think that was 1980 or 81. Forgive my knowledge off the top of my head. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy these type of videos, press subscribe and I'll try and do some more.